It's Ethony. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 3 of reading oracle cards for beginners. Before we jump in, if you could do me a favor, like this video and drop a comment in the comments below. It takes a few seconds and it really helps my channel. Help me with the algorithm, guys. Answer me this question. What is the top oracle deck on your wish list right now? Let me know in the comments below and let's get on to part 3. My oracle deck recommendations. Now, as I mentioned in part 2, there are literally tons of decks out there. So I'm not going to sit here and take you through thousands of decks. That would just take forever, and I don't have all the decks that have been created. I know, shock horror. What I have done is I put some key themes and I've just selected a couple of decks that you may feel drawn to. All of the links are in the text, so you can go back and find the deck, and if you want to purchase it you can, but of course there's no pressure, and it's just me showing you how the different themes are really shown and how you can see the vibe change as we go through the different sections of recommendations. I am going to swap cameras over and have the face down rig so that I can show you the decks while I'm talking about them. So enjoy this little walkthrough of some of my recommendations for different themes, and let's get started. Our first category is plant oracle decks. So oracle decks that are about plants, the essences, the herbal meanings, and the first one is the Plant Spirit Oracle by Dana Driscoll. This is an independent deck. It, as you can see, does not come with a guidebook, but it is very user-friendly, beginner-friendly, especially if you are wanting to learn about plants. I adore Dana's artwork and I love these backs. I love that they're reversible. They are a big card. They are definitely a larger oracle card. So for reference, this is a tarot card. So as you can see, it's quite a lot bigger. The images are beautiful, and there is the plant or the fruit or the tree, and then 3 keywords, and it's enough absolutely for you to get into the energy. And of course, as we see, this is not just plants, we've got some elemental, but really lovely way to learn the magic of the plants and the meaning of the different plants through some keywords. This, as I mentioned, is independent, so I love the fact that this isn't a mass-produced deck, it's not a mass-market deck. All the art has been done by Dana herself. So a really lovely deck to get to know the plants and just gorgeous artwork. The next deck is the Herbal Astrology Oracle. This is pretty new. I believe it came out in 2022. I don't have the box with me because it is on my working, it's in my working space. It's on my working altar. So that says a lot about how much I adore this. It is a Hay House deck. I wanted to make sure we had some, recommendations of easy to get, easy to access. As you can see, some of these are upside down decks. I've shared this before. This is really gorgeous, and I love the back design. It's very witchy. It has a lot of symbolism in it from, obviously we've got like Jupiter, the astrology is in this, which helps with magical correspondences and working with it, but also like you've got the Ouroboros, you've got pentacles, you've got all, there's so much symbolism in this deck. So we have like you know, the moon and Venus here for Rose. So those are your astrology. So it's just a really beautiful deck. I have found that this is one that is quite deep. I've been taking my time with this deck. I've worked with it with clients. Cordyceps. I mean, you can't look at that now, and if you watch the the Last of Us and look at that in a new way, it really is just a stunning deck. So this is definitely my second recommendation for if you're looking for plants, especially if you're looking to do any magic with plants, and if you are interested in learning about astrology, this is the way to go. And you won't be disappointed with this artwork. This artwork is really gorgeous. The next category is animals, and animals are so popular in the Oracle deck space. This is the Spirit Animal Oracle by Faina Laura, and it's just really beautiful. I am a huge fan of Faina's work. Everything is done by her. She creates everything independently, and it's really a labor of love. The backs are non-reversible, which is fine. I love this heart. I love how everything pops in this deck. So the artwork really pops from this black background, and you can see we have the keyword next to the main keyword next to the animal. So humble honeybee, work ethic, community drive, golden gem, adorned flowers, give me the strength to realize my dreams. So there's a lot for you to work with in the deck. I mean, if you wanted to, I mean, you'd cut into the back, but you could, I guess you could trim it. There isn't a guidebook, but you do get a little how-to card which has some instructions on both sides. But this is quite gentle. I think this would be lovely to work with like children or teens. And as much as like it can seem, I mean, I guess if you see this, it's like, oh, it's a little bit, you know, color, like cartoony, or I guess like children's book art. I am obsessed with it. It speaks to my inner child. It's really gorgeous. And it's just, her artwork really speaks to me. So of course I'm going to have this on a recommendation for my oracles, and because everything is on the card, you're going to have a lot to work with if you are a beginner. My second recommendation for the animal category is the Woodland Wardens, and this is by Jessica Rowe, and this is mass produced. So this is my mass produced beginners animal deck. So it's easy to get a hold of, and this has been very popular this year. If you're watching this in 2023, the bags are gorgeous, and there is a reason why this has been so popular. It's stunning. So we have here the bobcat and the blackthorn, patience. So you will have keyword, you'll have a herb or a spice or a berry or a plant along with the animal, and both of those correspondences work together. So the coyote and datura, they both are elements of like deceit. It's numbered in Roman numerals, much like a tarot deck. And yeah, as you can see, it's so beautiful. It looks like drawings from a Victorian era book. And I'm obsessed with those. Like, I love collecting them, the ones with like plants, especially fungi, cayman and poppy. As you can see, they are quite simplistic, not in the detail. The detail of the animals is phenomenal. I mean, like, look at those scales, but there's a real focus to this deck, so you know exactly what you're getting, and it really allows you to focus on, you know, the animal and the plant. But I've seen this being a favorite of many people, and I can definitely see why. Asphodel, I just love saying that. Oh, I love snails. A snail is going to be my next one of my next tattoos. It does come with a guidebook, so you've got a lovely guidebook to go with it. So you even have some journaling prompts, upright and reverse, so you can read reversals. There are spreads. This is a solid little guidebook. So if you're looking for a recommendation for a mass-produced animal, this is my go-to right now. The next category is direct and very sassy, and honestly, I don't know if you can go past the Rebel deck, which is definitely one that was a bit of a trailblazer, and this is by Rebel deck, and please make sure you're buying a legitimate copy, as this has been one that a lot of people have ripped off. So we got some facts about the Rebel deck and how to shuffle it. It is an independent, so this is my independent selection. And so it is a double-sided deck, and it depends on how you want to shuffle it. But each side has a message. So put the fucking phone down. Too much screen time is making you awkward and sad. Go talk to a living person. I mean, it's very, very direct, and it's very, very direct. But it's like, absolutely, sometimes this is needed to snap you out of it. Shame, regret, and guilt, those are just bullshit. Forgive, let that shit go. So you could literally do either side. I usually take it from this side and then we'll reverse it. Where the fuck is your sense of humor? Believe what you see. Face reality or live in fucking la la land. Choose bravely. So this is like a very, very to the point. Step away from the crazy making diet for a hot second. Kale and spirulina taste like ass. Eat some yummy shit, bacon, chocolate, beer, get some, you know. So it is very sassy, very bright, and I love that it's like no fluffy unicorns. It's just very direct, and I absolutely love it. We've seen a lot of different sort of sassier decks come and go, and I think this is because, you know, the Rebel deck very much trailblazed quite a bit of that. There is a couples edition too, which is really great, and there's a shiny edition, but I wanted to show you the OG Rebel deck as my indie choice for sassy and very direct. The one thing that I will also say is that I mentioned in part 1 about not all decks that have tarot in it are tarot, and this is one of them. I don't know if this has been changed because this is from 2018, so maybe the tarot has been taken off of it. This is not a tarot deck, it's an oracle deck, but it's an amazing one. The next is my independent deck choice for direct and very sassy, and it's the I Don't Care oracle deck. This is by Core Magic, and I love their decks. I have quite a number of them. Love the pink. I think they have now, this is from a while ago. This is one of, I think, the original. I'm pretty sure this is like the first edition. But they have like pink edged now, which is really, really cool. I love the backs. The backs are, it's like this beautiful matte cardstock as well, but it's reversible. And again, it's very, very sassy. What if you could send your problems away today? And I love that this is almost like a lesson in magic too. Like, could you put your problems in an envelope and just tell it to fuck off? Like, that's such a great magical practice. I stopped doing so much. I feel like this could be tattooed on my forehead. Maybe not on my forehead, I wouldn't see it, but somewhere I'd see that all the time. Guilt-free, very modern. Please leave a voicemail. So, you know, check out. Take care of yourself. So it's very modern, very pop art. I really fucking love it. This feels like me. Tomorrow is another day. So very engaging art. Very to the point. Very fun. Very sassy. So cute. You are not your emotions. Just a really, really, really beautiful sassy deck that if you feel aligned to it, and there's no guidebook. It's just like, you know, if I was reading this for a client, I would be saying, okay, well, you know, this is an embodiment deck. Like, how are you going to embody this today? This is my selection. You can get this from Core Magic's website or Etsy. Again, make sure you're buying it from the right person and not a ripoff, not a stolen deck. So beautiful, beautiful Sassy deck. The next category is self-love and healing. And my first pick for this is the Self-Love Oracle by Jeanette Chu. I've had this deck for a really long time. I've worked with it for a really long time. I've worked with this for clients, for myself. It has 44 cards and a guidebook written by the creator herself. The backs are non-reversible, but they are super beautiful. And this is a unique deck in the way that some of the cards are landscape and some of the cards are portrait. But it has a lot of beautiful words on the cards themselves. So heal. Some wounds need to be acknowledged before they can be completely healed. Allow yourself time, space, and process necessary to find your wholeness again. Forgive and release. So it is a gentle, beautiful, even in the dreamy artwork, it feels like you're just being kind of embraced in this massive hug. And it's just one that I've really found works in practice, you know. It's one that clients have picked over and over again. It's one that I have constantly worked with clients. It's just really easily available. Like, it's very beginner friendly. And I love its different perspectives. So this is a high recommendation for self-love work. My second recommendation for healing is my Awakened Soul Oracle. I can't help it. This is a near and dear project, a near and dear oracle deck to my heart. This was my second oracle deck ever created. And it was specifically created because, you know, I've been reading the tarot since I was 15, and I had all these reoccurring messages that were coming up for people. So I wanted to be able to create a deck that really spoke to the hundreds and thousands of readings that I've done. What were the main things coming up? And it was, the artwork is created by very talented Danielle. They are massive, and the reason why they're massive is because I really felt like her artwork deserves to be seen in this big scale format. And yeah, it's very inclusive. It was from the beginning. It was designed that way. And we have just a keyword. The original version came out in 2016. This is my second edition for 2020. And there is a lot in the guidebook. There is the keyword, the main symbol, then keywords, and then the story around the artwork and the Awakened Soul, then the meaning, the shadow meaning, an affirmation, and a personal reflection for you to work with. And this has, there's spreads at the beginning. There's lots and lots of things that you can work with. And this has been a staple in my life and in many clients' lives. And yeah, it's my baby. So this is built for healing and integration. So that's got to be my recommendation as well. The next category is angels. And I'm not a massive angel person, as in I don't work with angels very much, so I don't have really any independent decks with just angels for oracle decks. So I had to pick 2 mass produced, which if you like angels, this is good for you because it means you're going to be able to get it very, very easily. This first one is Angels and Ancestors Oracle. This is by art by Lily Moses and a Kyle Gray. So Hay House, very easy to get a hold of. This, all of Hay House's decks are getting ripped off online, so make sure again you're buying it from, you know, even your local bookstore isn't safe anymore, but it has to be the bigger version. It has to come with a guidebook, no QR codes, all that kind of jazz. Where the magic is in it for me is this artwork. And Lily has done a beautiful job. I mean, I have literally an owl tattooed on me, so this is very up my alley. It is really, really beautiful. So we have the title of the card and a key phrase, and as you can see, these are not all just angels, which is wonderful if you are maybe not a massive angel person or you're looking for something that incorporates a little bit of everything. So Earth Guardian, Direction Angel, Water Guardian. So as you can see, these are, it's not your typical angel deck. But Heart Guardian, but if you do look this up, I believe that's Mary Magdalene in that one. And if we have a look at, for example, these guardians, so if we go to, like, you can take this of, like, here we go, Archangel Raphael. So as much as it doesn't say like Archangel Raphael, the angels are in here. So this is, I'd say this is, I don't know who this is, but this feels very Mary Magdalene to me. So yeah, it feels, it's very non-denominational, even though that other guy looks absolutely like Jesus. So it's really up to you whether you kind of vibe with it this way, but it's definitely a great way to look at angels and guardians in a way that's not overly religious, especially if you come from a non-religious background. The next one is Angels Among Us, and this is by Victoria Maxwell, illustrated by Ellie Grant. And this is by Rockpool Publishing, so you can get this in a lot of places. I'm definitely here for the very hot magenta sides. The backs are reversible. And here we have some goddesses, even though she has done a Goddess Among Us. But we have very specific angels. And this is very much like my Modern Goddess Oracle, where it's, you know, what would they look like now? But as you can see, we definitely have the angels. So we have the name and 3 keywords, and then we have symbols. So Mary Magdalene, we have some saints, Haniel, Zedkiel, Jophiel, who looks like Dolly Parton almost. So you have definitely got angels in here, Jesus, but then you have some goddesses too and gods, which is different. But this is going to be, you know, for those who are very aligned to kind of light work. I mean, she's a saint, but she's also a goddess. If you're looking for a more modern one, this is definitely more archangels. The next category is goddesses and sacred feminine, and of course I had to have my Modern Goddess Oracle, and this is my independent deck, and yay! So this is my deck. I've created this myself and published it myself. So you can get this via my website, and if you send me a message or you shoot me an email, I will send you a discount code if you have watched this video. So as you can see, there is, I mean, the guidebook is huge, people. So we have, say, Ishtar, we have keyword, symbols, affirmation, a bit about Ishtar, divination meaning, and then how to work with Ishtar, and then the shadow meaning, so how to heal with Ishtar. So depending on if you need to heal this aspect of yourself or you want to work with that aspect to yourself, this is, there's a full chunky, like there's so much information in here, spreads, the whole works. I purposely didn't put any keywords but the name of the goddess in this deck because I wanted for people to be able to use this as altar placements as well. So if you didn't have a statue to the goddess that you wanted to work with, you could use this in place, or you could read it as an oracle. You could look at any of the symbols like dandelion for Bridget, and you could go from there. The other thing this oracle deck has are sacred archetypes. So representations of the sacred feminine that are archetypal. So they run throughout our lives, and it could be, you know, you are going through a sacred time and you need an archetype, and this is meant to be modern. So what the goddesses may look like, you know, if they were walking the earth. So there's the mystic, I love the mystic today, and what they have to teach us as modern practitioners. So the crone, you know, how to heal with the crone if you have fear about aging. So there's so much in this book and in this oracle deck. It's obviously, like, I'm a bit biased because I am the creator and the writer and everything, but it is, I feel like it's really deep. So I hope you like looking at some of the cards, and if you feel drawn to it, this is my independent deck selection for goddess decks. My mass market recommendation for beginner oracles for goddesses is Journey to the Goddess Realm by Lisa Porter, and this is published by US Game Systems. And I think this deck is so slept on. I really do. I mean, it's from 2015. It's a bit of an older one, but it's a 39 card deck with 36 oracle cards. There's a guidebook. You get the goddess name, a keyword, then a bit about the goddess, some keywords for upright and keywords for reversed. So while it is a little bit smaller, the artist wrote the book, and so all of the symbols in the artwork are going to be found in the book, and you're getting it straight from the creator. Oh my God, Baba Yaga is so cool. And I love it. I mean, I'm not a massive fan of these chunky borders. The only thing that I might have done or is like cut the sides. But again, honestly, the art is so vibrant that for me, it doesn't take anything away from it. This deck too, I haven't seen all of these goddesses represented. I mean, so obviously like Kuan Yin is a very common goddess. Gaia, Athena, she's my ride or die. But I haven't seen like Aphrodite. I think that might be like Aphrodite, you know, Lilith. This is an Indigenous Australian, Wurapurani. Yeah, I mean, like, some of these are so amazing. So this is definitely going to give you a different perspective. And I don't know if I've ever shared this deck before with my peoples, but it is a absolute stunner. My final category is shadow work. And I actually had to pick 2 independent decks for this one because shadow work it's very popular, but I feel like it needs to be gently done sometimes. And this is by Anna Torian. And this is the first edition. So the backs are reversible. And I'm actually, 2016, I'm not actually sure if it comes with a digital guidebook. I'll have to check. But this is like the echoes of ourselves. And even if you look at something positive, like a word like abundance, not everyone has a positive experience with abundance. So this is definitely a beautiful place to enter into those shadow realms for yourself. Like, yeah, what fork are you going to go down in the deep, dark, scary forest? The journey. There's just a beautiful, welcoming, like the person inside the dragon and then the person riding the dragon. Like, there's so much in her artwork. And she's created a number of decks. You know, Tarot of the Abyss, she's working on a number, and the Bone, Stone and Earth Flesh Tarot. And this is a really lovely place to start your shadow work journey. This deck is great for path working. This is great for meditating, entering into the card, and really just journaling and spending time with the card without having too many restrictions on, you know, keywords and things like that. So it's a lovely deck, especially if you're looking to work with shadow and work with shadow self-led and intuitively. My second recommendation for shadow work is the Earth, Moon and Shadow Oracle. This is by Ruin Vervain, and the artwork is by Kat Amsel, and this is it's created in short print runs. So if you do like it, make sure you get on to the mailing list. This deck does come with a guidebook. I have been working with it, so it may be in my reading bag, but it does come with a guidebook. But this is all, they also have these spread cards, which is really great. You can pop it in the box and take it with you. I have shown this deck before and I adore it. We have the title and 3 keywords. I mean, how can you not see this and think, yes, shadow work? And in the book, it does have the shadow meaning, like it does have information about how to work with the shadow. So this is absolutely meant for this type of work. It's very witchy, which is totally, you know, down with my vibe. It's very ethereal, you know, the nighttime. You're going to see many cards that are like Death Valley. Like, I just think it's really gorgeous. It has, as you can see, lots of crows and ravens. The artwork is, wow. I mean, I could just stare at it like all day. But this is a deck that I have been working with ever since I received it, and I can't stop. That's why the book is somewhere in my reading bag and not right here right now, because it's one that is now become a constant companion in my readings. I know I only picked a few categories because I could literally be here all day talking about different oracle decks that I have and how to use them. I hope you found something in this recommendation selection that speaks to you and something that you can work with. But remember that even if something is made for shadow work, or, you know, in any way, if there's a specific thing that you're meant to be doing with it, your connection with the cards, your connection with the deck, your connection with yourself is the biggest journey, is the biggest gift. So use it however you feel drawn to use the deck.